All right, friends. Y'all know how we get this Monday kicked off. Curt, give him the game breakdown, man.
All right, so it's been a long time since we had to do one of these, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man. The Lions got a butt whooping, and I was in person, witnessed it firsthand, man. It was like, what? Now, I will tell you this about the Panthers stadium. They got a nice stadium. It was cold, but a lot of teams, they do one thing, and they do one thing good. When they build their stadiums, they put the visitors in the sun. The visitors bench, the visitors, what do you call that? All the fans, because they sit behind the visitors bench, they put their ass in the sun because they could burn up, especially in the summertime. Well, damn it, it backfired because I was warm during the game. It was warm with that sidelines, man. That advantage kept us warm because they usually keep the home team in the you know what I'm saying, shaded so they don't, get overheated. But shit, that shit felt good. That sun felt good, brother. I ain't gonna lie to you. Big shout out to gold members, man. Michael Huck, Nicole or Lady Lion or of Douchebaggy, man. I sat with those cats the whole game and watched the horror unfold. That's what it was, man. Now let's look at these team stats before we get into breaking down what happened on the actual field. But it was good to hang out with other Lions fans. My first time seeing them in person, man. I had a great time, man, except for the game, of course. But otherwise, it was fun. All right, first downs, they had 30. We had 22. Passing first downs, they had 11. We had 15. Rushing first downs, man, 16 of them things for the Panthers and only 3 for the Lions. Penalties from first downs, 4 for the Lions and 3 for the Panthers. Third down efficiency was horrible for the Lions. 4 for 12. 3 for 9 for the Panthers, which isn't great either. But fourth down efficiency, they had 1 for 1. We had 2 for 3. Total plays 61 to 65 in favor of the Carolina Panthers. Total yards 381 for the Lions. A franchise record 570 total yards for the Carolina Panthers. Total drives, it was 10 to 11 with the advantage going to the Panthers. Yards per play, 6.2 for the Lions, 8.8 for the Panthers. Passing, 336 for the Lions because we was behind all game, 250 for the Panthers. Completions, 25 of 42 and 15 for 22, respectively, for the quarterbacks. Of course, the Lions threw the ball more because it was behind the whole game. Yards per pass, 7.6 for the Lions, 11.4 for the Panthers. They were airing that damn thing out. They got to Jared Goff. 2 sacks for 19 yards. We did not sack Sam Darnold at all. Yards rushing, 45 for the Lions. A franchise record 320 for the Panthers. God damn. Only 17 rushing attempts for the Lions, 43 for the Panthers because they just ran the ball down our throats the whole game. 2.6 for the Lions and 7.4 yards per rush for the Panthers. Red zone, 3 for 6 for the Lions, 4 for 6 for the Panthers. Penalties, 4 for 30 for the Lions. They had a lot of penalties over there on Carolina, 10 for 74. Turnovers, 1 for the Lions. The fumble loss, no special teams, no interceptions thrown by either team. Time of possession, 35 minutes for the Panthers because they just ran the ball. And 24 minutes and 47 seconds for the Detroit Lions. Yeah, that was just terrible. Now, here's one thing that was an interesting fact, and I heard Lionel talking about this on the Lions Layer the other day. The Lions players complained about the field. They said it felt like concrete. And they kind of took themselves out of the game before the game even started. But they said it felt like concrete. But that's what happens when you have a frozen synthetic plastic field turf. Because I've never understood why teams in the South or teams like we're in a warm weather climate have a synthetic field. Doesn't make any sense to me. And like then you run into stuff like this that happened on Saturday. The Lions players didn't like it. Jared Goff talked about this, and so did Aiden Hutchinson. And to be honest with you, this is what I saw. Kind of retrospect, right? They didn't like the field, said it was too hard, and they played like they didn't want to get hurt because they said it felt like playing on concrete. So kind of look back, I'm like, damn, they weren't tackling, like they weren't physical at all. And Carolina they would just play their normal game. But like if you look at how the Lions, because the Lions play on field turf, but they don't play on that cold of a field turf. And that's a report that's been out around the league, especially when you get that field turf outside, you get it cold. It's just like playing on the old school AstroTurf, which is basically you put that thin piece of turf on top of concrete and you play. So I won't say this. They played that way, especially in that first half, because the Lions just got manhandled. They got manhandled. The Panthers put their hands on them and was it. It was like they went, well, shit, we cold anyway, so we'll get warmed up by whooping your ass. That's just what it seemed like for me watching the game. And one thing that Aiden Hutchinson said before I kicked to you guys, he said, "Is this field even legal to play on because it's so hard?" But that's what happens when you get a plastic field that's frozen. You all know how plastic is when it gets cold and hard. That's just like a rock. So, but the Lions just got outplayed. That's all. What they ran their ass up and down the field all day, and it was an emotional loss. JG himself was like, he was a little upset after, he was like, he apologized to the Lions fans. Yeah. He was like, "Hey man," he's like, "that's my bad. You know what I'm saying? I'm your leader of your team, and we should have played better than that." So, but again, shout out to, I got to meet Lala, the Foxy president of the Foxy Club. I got to meet her. I got to meet Crackman. I got to meet Megan Stefanski. The Ron the Crackman, the guy, he wears the helmet. He looked like he has a little makeup on the face there. Not the crack, not that kind of crack man.
That's up as I know. It's a shout out to Petey. It's a dude we know.
Not that dude, man. Not that guy, man. Crack man from the Lions fan, super fan, man. This guy. But what did you guys think before we get to? Before we get to y'all guys break down this guy, tell me how y'all guys looked at the game. I know how I felt being there, but what did you guys think?
It was a lack of adjustment. Lack of adjustment. And I'm not even going to be that hard on Jared Goff, even though I could be, because he could have made a few better throws, but in all, it was just a lack of adjustments. And like I said, AG, you're going to kind of have to come holler at me in my segment. But, yeah, man, it was just a lack of adjustments, man. Once you seen what they was doing on those first two drives, you should have made the adjustment. You should have made the adjustment right then. You didn't, and that's the ball game. Lions did not. I don't know why they didn't make no adjustments, but I don't know, man, because the scenario happened where both teams lost that we needed to lose, and then we lost. Motherfucker. All right, man. What's up, LL?
I'm not gonna say what I'm surprised you didn't say, because you might say it in your segment. But of course, I'm not gonna call these gentlemen soft because they're professional football players outside doing whatever the hell. But this wasn't a good effort, man. They like exactly what you said, Kurt. They played just like that. Like they was like, man, it's too cold. That ground too hard, and they just talked about that all game instead of going out there and playing football. Like you said, Coach Mike, I expected to see a game playing similar to New York because they really can't throw the ball. They got Sam Donald. I expect to see us sell out against the run. Boy, was I wrong. I was wrong about a lot.
He showed through that ball. He showed through that ball good.
Right. Yeah. I mean, but he wasn't impeded much. But I after the game, I went out to the store and I seen a man and his child, and they were dressed in Lions gear, and the child looked up at their dad and he said, "Daddy, why don't the Lions love us? Daddy, the Lions ruined Christmas." And I just looked at the little child and I said, "Man, that's messed up. The Lions ruined Christmas, man. Look at what y'all did. I came out there and y'all played like y'all ain't played all season and ruined Christmas for this small child. So I hope y'all's happy."
Hey, to see the rest of this segment, man, tune into the full version of today's Lunchtime Detroit Lions Talk. Brought to you for Detroit Lions on the Prowl right here on your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors.